A Galactic Goodnight. It was springtime on the island of New Florida, and the trains were being really useful on the tracks while they were doing their work. Passenger trains are always really useful for what they do. Audrey was pulling into Squetham Station with her passenger train. She arrived on time. Mr. Cakester arrived. A slumber party is happening at the Dweeble tonight. Audrey, I need you to go to the yard and collect a load of ice cream and milk for the party. Sounds good, sir, said Christina. And she steamed off to Union Station so she would head over to Knapford Yards. And she puffed along backwards. She arrived in the yard to collect the ice cream and milkshakes. Sir Topham Hatt was there. And then he left. But then Audrey left without the brake van. And then she started to enjoy herself. As going back to New Florida. We've done this like many times! And the freight cars, Seamaroo! And they started to go fast. Oh no, help! Cried Audrey. This train is too heavy! And then James appeared. He was on his way to Oakwood to pick up a load of goods. Watch out, James! Cried Audrey. James tried to brake, but it was too late! Luckily, no one was hurt, but James had been damaged and destroyed, and the freight cars were derailed. Sorry, James, said Christina. My lovely paint is ruined, said James. Then Mr. Cakester arrived, on Becky. You forgot a brake van, said Cakester. I'm sorry. Don't worry, said Audrey. I'll do a better job tonight. And then Kirsten pulled James and Audrey back onto the rails. And Becky continued on with the milkshakes and ice cream. And then Mr. Cakester had a job for... There's an overnight train called the Galaxy Limited, said Cakester. Audrey, I want you to collect it with Dweet, Treva, and Sasha. That sounds like fun, sir, puffed James. And then Audrey backed up to her original passenger train, and she steamed off toward her chugging tin. The Amfleet cars were nice and cozy inside. And then another passenger train went by. And then the train curled around the curve. And then she steamed through the mountains, making excellent time. And then she steamed through the desert. The coaches were being nice. And then she steamed through a tunnel This is the nicest tunnel I've ever been through, said Audrey. And she enjoyed herself going along the main line. All was going well until she turned the curve. A car was stuck on the tracks. And then Audrey was fast approaching. "Watch out!" she cried. The driver got out just in time. Audrey's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. No one had been hurt, but the coaches and Audrey had become caught in a blaze. Fire was rampaging non-stop, and it was very annoying. "I've got to get out of here," coughed Audrey. She was in a big blaze. Flames were out of control. Fire was raging. It was a big inferno. "This is derogatory," said Audrey. Then the fire engine came and responded. And at last, the fire was out and Dwee came with her substitute train. "Thank you for helping me," said Audrey to Dwee. "You're most welcome," said Dwee. "Sasha, Treva, and I are pulling an overnight train." And then they were at the junction. The Galaxy Limited leaves in a few minutes, said Cakester. "You must go collect it." "Sounds good, sir," said Dwee, Sasha, and Audrey, and they steamed off. And then they arrived at the station. "We might go to outer space," said Dwee. And then the Amtrak train locomotive shunted some coaches. And then Dwee and Treva hooked the diaper wagons to Audrey along with the brakeman. "Here we go," said Treva. "It's night already." And then the roomette was nice and cozy inside. And then they steamed over a bridge at night. And the passengers were enjoying themselves. The dining car had nice tacos and spaghetti and meatballs, and then the train went through the desert. And then a shooting star went by. The train was clattering through the night. And then they clattered down the line with their train, and the passengers were all asleep due to the clicking of the rails. It was the best overnight train ever. And the horizon car was bright at night. And then another train puffed by. And then they steamed by a station at night. It was almost midnight. But the engines hurried on. "We've got this express and it's almost bedtime," said Sasha. And then the night sky glue all night long. And then the engines went to outer space. "Look at the stars," puffed Dwee. "Don't they look gorgeous?" "They do," said Treva. And then they made their descent down the hill. The stars twinkled in the night. "We'll make it to bed soon," said Treva. Then they went over the moon. And it was almost their bedtime. He was exhausted. And then they went through a tunnel. "It's almost bedtime," said Dwee. "Good night, coaches," Sasha said. And then they steamed off to their bedtime. The diapers were soon delivered to the daycare facility, and then the engines went to sleep, thinking about what a good job they did today.